think of a bird in a cage. It is commonly posited that it is aware of its confinement and yearns for the freedom of the open sky. When examining the concept of a caged bird, it is fascinating to consider the possibility that the bird may be unaware of its confinement. So our first bird, the oblivious captive, remains blissfully unaware of its captivity. It flutters about, chirping merrily, its spirit unbroken by the bars that caged it. It lacks awareness of the world beyond the confines of its cage and does not yearn for it, as the cage itself is its entire universe. This idea invites us to reflect on the impact of ignorance in our lives and how it profoundly affects our perception of freedom, knowledge, and self-awareness. In its most dangerous form, ignorance is often a choice, a willful blindness. It is a conscious decision to remain in the dark, shielded from uncomfortable truths and inconvenient realities. The real danger lies not only in lacking knowledge, but also in mistakenly believing that one possesses it, the illusion of knowledge, and the refusal to seek it. Education doesn't necessarily distance one from ignorance, but awareness does. However, let's consider a different scenario. What if the bird has never experienced anything beyond the limits of the cage? Given the circumstances, it would likely be unaware of its captivity, as it has no reference point to compare its current situation. This scenario is analogous to human ignorance. Imagine a person who has never been exposed to specific ideas, experiences, or truths similar to a bird that has never experienced freedom beyond the confines of its cage. So, in both situations, the lack of awareness of alternative reality can lead to complacency in acceptance of one's circumstances. Being in the dark takes center stage in our struggles, hindering our ability to navigate, uncover optimal paths for our well-being, or discover our purpose in life. It could lead us to reject what we should have accepted and accept what we are supposed to have rejected. But the most troubling aspect is that ignorance often disguises itself as knowledge. The lack of awareness exhibited by this caged bird is reminiscent of how humans sometimes fail to recognize their subjugation for the simple reason that they are brainwashed to accept abnormalities. Ignorance is the chain of prejudice and the breeding ground for intolerance. So, when we lack understanding about diverse cultures, perspectives, and experiences, we create an environment whereby bigotry can flourish. Therefore, ignorance poses a significant danger beyond individual limitations, becoming a widespread societal element. The obliviousness displayed by this caged bird holds significant implications. It serves as a wake-up call of how ignorance can keep the ball rolling on the same old song and dance, and the blind eye turned to one's situation. When individuals are in the dark about other fish in the sea, they tend to be less likely to rock the boat, think outside the box, and strive for the greater good or personal growth. Ignorance is like a brick wall standing in the way of progress. So, in the midst of the fast-paced changing tides of our world, holding on to outdated beliefs and obsolete information restricts our collective capacity to innovate, adapt, flourish, and illuminate our way forward. The caged bird's predicament is not just a product of its ignorance, but also its lack of motivation and desire to effect change. This unwillingness to embrace new perspectives highlights the significant risks associated with ignorance. They exist in the depths of closed minds and uncharted territories, posing a potential threat to the foundations of our societies.